All right, welcome to the book club, and today we are doing Wolverine 75.
Oh shoot! I grabbed the wrong
So
one.
this week was my choice. Hold on one sec, guys. Let me get my shit together. Where did it go? I just had it. Oh, there it is. Sure.
There we go. Sorry about that. I'm here. We're doing this book. I had
Right.
them all together, but it was at the very bottom of the stack, so it's really
Yeah,
nice.
show the slabbed one.
Here we go.
That's the book we're doing today, everybody.
Great book.
Hi, Art. Hi,
The
Becker.
cover basically is the whole entire story.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, you're not wrong.
There's not too much to the story. I think it's well done, but
Oh, it's interesting.
It's a tidbit interesting. That's right. All right. So let me fix the screen. Can y'all see me?
Well, you have your camera off.
Yeah, I was just fucking with y'all. I'm so funny. All right. I don't have my necklace on. I don't have my fucking battle glove. Dang on. I'm just.
But you're
We had
wearing an
audio-
X-Men shirt. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I did wear my X-Men shirt. We had audio issues, and I can't get my lights behind me to work. So
Technical
Whatever.
difficulty night.
yeah,
I showed up at 8:01.
yeah.
I've got
I
my
showed up
Christmas
at
lights.
like a minute before you there, D.
All right, I'm going to jump right into it. This is, of course, the issue after good old Wolverine loses his adamantium, right? And they're all kind of like scurrying back to Earth. And the cover, it's not the best cover of all the ones we've seen so far. It's, Alan was showing it off.
Mhm.
Who's the who is it? Wolverine in the little hologram? I didn't get to see one.
I think so, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Wolverine. That's a very cool hologram, actually, when you get it to work properly.
Yeah, the thumbnail for today's video is the hologram, so you get a
It's
chance.
actually a really cool hologram.
Yeah, Rob didn't have any copies, so I couldn't at least even look at the hologram today.
I love the holograms. They have like that cool 3D effect.
So basically, the X-Men team are like fighting to keep the ship together and being able to land on Earth and keep Wolverine status alive and try to bring him back to health. Basically,
You just described the whole entire story.
I feel like the beginning inside art is not as good as the later inside art.
I felt the other way, actually. So, changed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's some panels from the beginning. Panels. Kind of like a fever dream going fucking thing almost.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's like this is where he's coming to a little bit and his healing factor's working better. I feel like he was healing better once he was conscious as opposed to not conscious. So basically, like every fucking X-Men book I've ever read, Jean and Professor X are doing most of the work, okay? With their kinetic ability.
It's so true.
And, it's either Jean and Professor X are tag teaming or they got to split up, and it makes it harder for them. And Professor X is... Sorry, go ahead.
And it's bad for them right now because their goon, their shield, their whatever is in a lot of pain right now and could not recover.
Mm-hmm.
So
they have Quicksilver manning the
Controls.
the controls, and he's going Speedy Gonzalez style. And Bishop's doing some like his ability thing where he needs other people to merge with him. I think Gambit does at one point. You don't get any of this centerfold shit if you do the digital copy. So if y'all don't know, there's like previews to other books in here. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't see any of that.
No, I read it digital too, even though I had it. This is cool. I think
What
that's
is that?
Sabretooth. I think
Oh, wow.
yeah, I think that's Sabretooth and Night Stalker. Looks like it's an ad for, but that's all kind of like that. In the middle, there's about 6 or 8 pages of that stuff.
Cool.
All right, there's this part right here, which is interesting. Wolverine's basically like ready to die. And I don't like this panel right here. He looks very weird. He looks decrepit, and Professor X is like, no, it's not time for you to go. You can't die yet. And you see, they're in his conscience. You know, they're like trying to save him from going to the other side or whatever the fuck you want to say it. And here's like Wolverine's.
Don't go to the light.
Yeah, he recognizes her. He's like, oh, this is death. This is good. I can hear the music. She's so beautiful, all that shit, you know, and he's going towards her. And what's sad about it, a little sad, is that the bitch is like, you know what? It ain't your time. Get the fuck away from me.
Isn't
Well,
that
it's Ilyana.
who just died?
It's
Sorry?
Ilyana,
Yes.
Rasputin. The girl.
Magic.
Oh, that magic? It was magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, there's this part in here. I did my favorite panel of the book was Jean was flying out of the place or whatever. Here it is. And she gets
she got
kicked out.
sucked out.
And this is where Wolverine first comes back to reality, and he grabs Jean instantly.
Yeah, she had
And-
one thing to do, and she couldn't just
You
keep
had
the
one
hatch.
job.
One job.
Well, she was reaching out to him in his mind, and he was reaching out to her in his mind or her mind, and it worked in the middle, I guess. But I thought that was fun because, you know, it shows how badass Wolverine is. I think at that point he was going into cardiac arrest also. So the fucking shit I don't like is it's like a science project. It's like you gotta know about Earth's orbital ways. You gotta know about rocket landings. You gotta know about psychosis and being able to fuck with the brain and propulsion systems and shit. This is what I was saying about like Superman. Superman goes to fucking space. He goes to space. He comes Earth. He comes Earth. X-Men go to space. They come back. It's like a fucking nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. Their jet's always falling apart. You know, it's always some bullshit like this.
They
Anyways,
didn't have enough duct tape. Is the problem?
I don't think it's made to be in space. It certainly
That's
doesn't
the,
seem to handle
that's the big
re-entry
thing
as
about
well.
it.
yeah, why the
Yeah.
fuck is the Blackbird in space anyway? I'm not even sure that's a jet they took, but what the fuck ever.
Well, it's obvious they don't have the heat shield because
They don't have heat shields.
falling
yeah.
apart.
All right. So at this point, after they get back, Wolverine's healed, you know. He's like, all right, Professor X, let me see if I'm worthy to be on the team. Set me up in the danger room. You know what I'm saying? And Professor X is like, all right, man, I'm gonna send these 2 robot fucking things at you, but these ain't like regular holograms. These are like a little more badass or physical. And he's getting his ass whooped. He's getting fucking beat up by these 2 things.
He's
you know?
lame now.
Yeah, he don't have the
Which
adamantium.
meaning of lame are you using?
Both.
I don't know. Whatever one you want, I guess. And the robots are kicking shit out of him. The X team's like,
And they're all like, "Oh, have sympathy."
oh
I'm
no,
poor dude.
yeah. And Professor X is like, nah, let him fucking. He ain't gonna listen unless he gets his ass whooped. You gotta let him go through the process.
Mhm.
And at the end of this little exhibition, you know, Wolverine does the old, I'm the best at what I do, bub. And he fucking pops out his claws, and everybody's like, oh my God, he did it. How'd he do that? You know, it's like, whatever, dude. It's fucking Wolverine. Of course he's going to do that. And then So
Well,
they
they
thought,
didn't realize that the claws were there. Actually,
I
they
guess
thought
not.
the claws were adamantium. Like they didn't realize they were part of his bones.
I get,
I
yeah.
don't
And-
think he realized it either.
He didn't know it either because he
well, I
didn't
thought
have
that
memories of
I
before.
thought he had bone claws before he got adamantium.
He
Well,
did.
but
He
we don't
did, but
know
he
that
didn't
until
know
this
that.
book. Yeah,
Oh well.
This
We've
is, I
never
think, the
seen him
first
without it.
appearance of the bone claws, isn't it?
it is. Yeah.
It's the first appearance of bone claw. Okay, cool. Does that make sense? I guess it does. All right. Well, anyways,
So
he's
no.
over
So
here.
the thing is, he didn't know. He thought they were like added to him through that process of getting the adamantium in his body. So he thought they were just part of the adamantium thing. But then he realizes in this, and everybody realizes that, oh, hey, he actually has bones that do this weird retraction
That was going to be part of my questions. I was probably going to ask later, unless y'all bring them up. Shit, like when does he get them back? Are we sure this is the first? But I'm just going to stick to the story for now because we'd be here forever on mine.
I guess
But,
10 years later, you said, D?
Yeah, it was at least like 8 to 10 years later. It was a long time.
So he's hanging out with Jubilee, and this is probably my favorite inside art of the book was him with Jubilee. And I guess he just maxed on all the chicks. You notice Wolverine's always like close to Jean or Jubilee or
He
whoever
likes them
fucks the
young.
girl. He likes the girls, yeah.
Isn't Jubilee like 15 or something like that?
Yeah, he's in love with Jubilee too, and she's
No. Logan and Jubilee have a father-daughter relationship.
I know they have a father-daughter.
Yeah, but it looks
relationship.
like she'd fuck him if he wanted to. So yeah,
That's a her thing. That's not a him thing.
well.
Yeah, she
That's
does.
it.
She seems to crush on him.
So he leaves. Oh yeah. So he leaves love letters to everybody as he's leaving, and this is the beginning of Wolverine saying, "I'm not on the fucking X-Men. I'm on my Harley Davidson. We're starting Wolverine solo title. Let's get the fuck out of here, right?" Which it's already a solo title, 75 or whatever. But that's it. You know, he's like very loving to Jubilee. So my inside score, or shit, my inside score, my
Full score.
Let me shout out the chat. We had a few people. We got 4 now. Knives, good to see you.
Yeah,
Darth,
that was the guy I was just talking to before coming on there.
sweet. Becker Man, and that's it for now. All right. Cover score. Oh man, 2.5. Inside art, 2.5. Story, I'll go 2.75. And overall, 2.75.
Okay.
That's my. Oops, I wrote it twice without hitting enter. I wasn't fucking blown away, but I just think I was just pissed about all the explanations of things. I like it when superheroes fight and you don't have to think about all this statistics, scientific
There's
shit.
no fighting in this book. No fighting required.
Unless you count him fighting for his life.
And
Well,
fighting for his life
don't-
and fighting against those robot guys.
I don't like it when fucking
Yeah, it's
superheroes
out
are on
of 5-star
ventilators.
focus.
You know, when like superheroes on ventilators and shit, and like in a hospital and things. I don't like that stuff. It gives me cringe vibes, but that's just me.
Technically, Batman should be on a ventilator and hurt every night he goes out. You don't think that guy's got like 8 million rips in his muscles and how many collapsed lungs he's had? Like,
Let me know what I missed, Steve.
Yeah, no, I'll just get into it. I love this book. It's one of my favorites of this series. The story is very simple. They're trying to get back to Earth while Logan is dying, and
basically,
so I really enjoyed the story. I love the art too. Like the art in this book is one of my favorite things. This panel right here was a trading card with the Fleer Ultra
yeah, it's
series.
a very cool panel.
Yes,
There's lots of cool
seeing
panels
the
like
card.
that.
Yeah, that's just fantastic in my opinion. And then, you just almost thought maybe he was dying. Like you didn't know how bad it was going to be. And I loved watching how much they struggled getting home. The 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 weird panel you were talking about where he looks very dilapidated and all that. I think he is just skin in this dream. Like his skeleton is not there, so he's just very floppy. But some of that art is weird, but it's meant to look weird because it's a dream.
Yeah, it was.
It's
a
not.
dream, yeah.
Yeah,
It's almost
it's in
like
his
his
head.
projection of himself.
Yeah, so the art I think is great. I think it's meant to look very odd and disfigured, and it's not a representation of like the normal art that you would see out of this. Um, Dude, this panel here where he starts reaching out for Jean,
Hmm.
telling her to help him, and he doesn't even realize that he is saving her.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, that was good. That
And
was very, emotional.
Yeah, that was my
scene.
favorite panel of the whole book. Yeah.
yeah, just the whole, in he says to her, "You're the one that reached out to me."
Right.
Like
And then she's like, "No, I think you're the one
I
holding
was
me."
falling out of an airplane and you were dead on the bed. So, but yeah, whatever. Thanks for catching me. It was cool that when he was fighting these battle droids, um, they mentioned like that look on his face. It was fear,
Yeah.
which they're not used to seeing out of Wolverine.
Hmm.
Even when he's
Well, he's been humbled.
yeah, and he's just afraid like that. I really like that. Um, uh, and then this is the one part I took issue with. Uh, I love this panel. It's another good panel. Um, but if he's always had the bone claws and he just had the adamantium claws, he shouldn't have bled so much from popping out his claws.
Well, I think that apart from the fact that he didn't know he had them, I think what you're seeing here is how there's space because the
The space
the
was like,
adamantium took space inside his body, and now it's gone. So there's this space where his body's got to contract a little to make
Well,
sure.
he explained it like an ear piercing. Like you have to do it every so many times.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he had already been doing it. Like
no, I think when it's like the adamantium, there's like, it's got like openings that are allowing it to come in and out much easier.
Oh, really? Well, I don't know how much space in between here and when they got back is. Like it just goes from their landing to
No. Space in the.
No, I know what you're talking about. The like little loops in between and shit. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But I'm just saying how many days that he may not have popped them out.
I don't think that was the issue though.
Well, it feels like it's been some period of time.
A little bit of time, right?
They said 2 weeks that he.
Oh, 2 weeks
later.
Okay, well, that's a pretty long time for him not to pop his claws. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, so he did. That was dramatic. He made a big deal out of shooting bones out of his fists, and then this panel right here was also really well done, where he's showing his claws there.
Yeah, I feel like the artist changed at this point because I like these panels better than
I felt like
before.
there was 3 different artists in this book.
Might have been, yeah.
So there was one where it was like sort of a little bit before that I thought was a little bit sketchy, like where it was like he was seeing Magneto and all that part. It was like kind of
that was taken from some of the other Fatal Attraction issues.
Yeah, so that looked a little different, and then I didn't really like that as much. And then later, I liked it when he was sort of recovering part.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't do a good job at explaining that when he was supposedly choosing if he was going to live or die. It was like some of the most graphic parts of his history in his life, and some of the shit they never knew about. I didn't say that earlier.
I kind of wish they did a little bit more history there, but I think it would have been a really good time to have almost like an origin story. But I think that was
at this time he didn't remember all that stuff, so he could only. The only life that can flash before his eyes is the one that he knows. Mm-hmm. So the parts that he knew were flashing before his eyes. So,
which is probably why he doesn't remember his bone claws, because anytime it came out before,
Well,
He
that's what
doesn't
he said. He even said that himself.
I think the coolest part I didn't point out also was where Wolverine's in the test tube and Jean don't know where they are, and then they had to adjust to how the scale was, and they were like on top of a giant Wolverine body instead of a test tube. She's like, "Oh my god, this is fucking crazy."
Yeah, no, but hey, cover. I agree with Biggie. I think it's a 2.5. The cover's actually helped a little bit that it's wrapped around, which makes it a little cooler. But the interior art, I give a 4. I loved it. Story, I give a 4. Overall, I'm gonna do 3.5.
That's what I was.
Oh,
Gonna
yeah.
guess. I was like, I'm trying to guess your grades, and I was gonna. Yeah. You're just gonna say that, yeah.
I give it a 3.5.
That's rad, bro.
Right.
I always like when people enjoy what they read.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I think we went Alan last time. Let's go, Matt.
Okay. Further to the points earlier about the Biggie's point about the reality, I actually really enjoyed that part of the story. Call me a nerd, call me a technical nerd,
I
whatever.
did too.
I'm glad y'all liked it. Yeah, I didn't.
One of the reasons I liked comic books when I was younger was that reading them taught me things. And I mean, in most cases, I knew everything that they were talking about this time, but it was still cool to see and thought. Now, on the bad side, Professor X will never use one word when 45 will do. Okay? So Professor X, he could just say, go in, look at his brain. No, we've got to do this. And you know, like, it's just like, come on, dude. And the part is, does anybody else do the same thing like me? Now I only hear Professor X's voice as Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while, but yeah.
I hear him as X-Men animated series.
I hear him as X-Men animated series too.
I think so too.
Fair enough. I haven't watched that.
A little mixture of both, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
But honestly, I have to say that I enjoyed it more than unenjoyed it. So
yeah,
for the cover, any cover that has a hologram off the back gets 3 with me.
Okay, wow, that's fucking.
You took my line. You took my line.
I'm sorry.
All
He
right.
should have got you to go first. So overall, I actually give the cover a 3.5.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's
Wow.
awesome.
That's okay. That's more.
But
than
the interior art, part of the book was the other half of the book was really good. So
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So I'm actually going to go out on a limb here because overall I did enjoy the art. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Oh wow.
Now for the writing. It was a simplistic plot, but I liked the details. So I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And so that means overall I've got a 3.5, 4, and a 3.5. I'll say 3.75.
All right.
This is a case where the sum is not greater than the parts. The lacking parts, unfortunately, drag the book down a bit.
Okay. Well, I think this is Matt's favorite mutant book so far, so that's exciting.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring up a whole bunch of different things that I was like.
Yeah, go get him, Alan. Fuck it up, bro. I'm excited.
First, I'll just quickly go over the cover. I actually like the cover, for the most part. You know, you got this mutilated poor Wolverine. He's just like a pincushion. I actually like the cover. I don't quite like it as much as Matt. I think it's always going to be above average with the hologram and the wraparound. That's like, to me, that's 2 bonus points. But I'm going to give it a 3 rather than a 3.5. Okay, because it's not as cool as the earlier hologram covers because they were earlier. And this is like, now this is like been done too many times.
I feel like if you hold them up next to this one, they're better artistically too, in my opinion. This is just kind of
yeah. I mean, so I would give this a 3 for the cover. But okay, I'm gonna interior art. There's good things and bad things. One thing that drove me nuts is the letterist. Did you notice that the A's kind of look like R's?
Yes.
I'm going back.
The whole time.
Oh, they do.
It was driving me nuts. I kept on like, I'm horribly dyslexic, and then that would just like add that extra level of annoyance to me. It's like the annoying thing. Like all the A's look like R's.
A's look like our
Look at the word.
herd.
Yeah, bird.
Oh.
Yeah, so
well,
I
the
was
yeah,
R's
like,
look different than the A's, so that helps me a little bit.
but yeah, so I was like
But
a little bit annoyed by
alone it
that.
looks like an R. So yeah, it was weird.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they
Yeah,
drew
so
it differently at different times. Like look at the word airframe up here. All right.
Airframe. Oh.
And then look at
Oh.
the word landing here. Like they drew it differently. Like, yeah, that's weird.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Wow.
lettering bothered
it's
me.
not.
So it was just a weird pet peeve.
Oh, that's a good eye there, Alan. Good job.
I
No,
noticed
but
weird details like that.
the
But
way I look at it was like something about this lettering seems off to me, but I couldn't nail it. But the second you said that, bang.
it was it's just weird. So okay, so that was just a pet peeve, and A is a very common letter in terms of words. So it's like just would be like
Third most used letter in the English language,
yeah. So that was kind of weird, but
or fourth maybe.
the interior art was like actually quite good. I loved there was like so many splash pages that were pretty awesome. So Dee showed a few of them. There was a bunch like that. I love the one where it looks like Magic's like an angel. I thought that was a pretty awesome panel as well. I like the panel where Wolverine grabs Jean Grey. That was pretty cool. There were some really cool high points in the story like that. This was a very simple story. If you want to summarize the story, it's like, the aftermath of the last battle where they fought against Magneto. We got a splattered Wolverine, and now they're crash landing. That's really the story. And Wolverine, now that he's kind of healed up, he realizes he's not as cool as he was before with the antimantium, and he's like so he's kind of like a little bit on a low point. He's kind of like a little bit down on himself, and now he's gonna go off and soul search. You got to
Yeah.
get on your motorcycle and head up
I
north.
feel I used to read a few Wolverine of this series,
Mhm.
and I feel the whole series is about him soul searching.
Yeah, actually, so I read 76 after this. So a good sign of a comic story that engages is a story that makes you wonder what's going to happen next. And this was a story. This was kind of like, to me, the Empire Strikes Back. Where you it is a wrap up in some ways, but it feels like it's like pushing you to a new story that's going to happen. Okay, so I really felt like that, where I was curious what's Wolverine going to do now. Now, like, he is in much, like, because of this book, he is a completely different character. He's not the overly confident guy with these. He's not, indestructible. He is a humbled character. Very cool. I thought that element to me makes it really a really compelling story,
It's really
but
an
a very
important book of
simplistic
his
story.
history. It's a very important book of his history. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I gave the story a 3.5. I think it's a strong story. I'm not going to give it a 4. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
like
Sorry. What was the inside art score?
I gave it a 3.5.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
And now we're on story.
Yeah. So story, I gave it a 3.5 as well.
Cool.
There was some really interesting parts of it. I like the fact that he writes a little love letter to Jubilee.
Yes. Well, you see, he had multiple letters for every member. It looked like.
Something tells me he didn't write one to Scott.
You don't think
No.
so? I'd look like 3 or 4 letters. Am I tripping?
No,
I
it
don't-
was Dear Scott, I fucked your bitch. I'm out.
She
Yeah.
still
I
wants
can
me
expect
more.
that. That would have been cool if he did that. That would have been totally cool.
Gene, you're supposed to be with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would have been actually kind of cool. So overall, I gave the story a 3.5 because it did compel me to read the next book. And
Right.
I think it was slightly greater than the sum of the parts. Because if you think about it, as I said, it's a very simple story. I did think that they missed out on an opportunity to give a little bit more insight into Wolverine's personality through some of those dream sequences. they could have spent less time on the ship crashing and more on that.
That would have made a more interesting story. Yes. Overall, I think. And there would have been less technical stuff for guys like Biggie to.
For Biggie, yeah. I didn't think it was that technical. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, neither did I. It was just enough to feel realistic.
Yeah, like I'm of the generation where I watched Star Trek as a kid, and they would always go into the gobbledygook, sci-fi stuff. Oh, the ships, the antimatter, some weird thing, like the dilithium crystals or blah blah blah. It's like, yeah.
The sublight engines,
yeah. So I always love when they do that kind of stuff. This had very little of that actually. It was like more about the angle of of entry, and that's for just like I'm a physics major, so if you hit the angle, you can actually bounce.
That was what I was going to say. Didn't they come in at an angle that they technically should have bounced off the?
Well, that's why they said we have. They actually kind of talked about that a little bit, where they said they had to kind of nose it down, or they would bounce off the.
Okay, I thought I did read that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got the total score. We got a 50.75.
50.75. Well, let's see.
I think it's going to fall behind the last one.
It's going to be close. I think it's going to be really close.
50.75. All right, let's get the calculator up. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
So whose book is it next week?
We're finishing it this next week. It'll be done.
Oh wow. Okay, so we will find out what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to do the whatchamacallit again, the Fatal Attraction. And I've enjoyed it because after we're done, I'm gonna rewatch animated.
Yeah, I mean the animated series I thought was really well done. I actually thought the new series was better than the original. Even
though not every episode had anything to do with this, it'll just feel good to rewatch it for me because one of them does,
I'd actually go as far to say that this was the best thing that Marvel's put out in the last 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So that's not saying that much is the sad part.
It comes in at 63.4%, which actually puts it in the bottom half of our.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's almost in the middle.
I feel like you guys were a little high on it. The last books before, all of those books are better than this one, in my mind. I know D says it's his favorite, but for me, like, all of the other books had shit going on. Like, it was like, we're learning. This is fucking cool. This is kind of like what we expected. There wasn't like only thing that was weird was maybe he left the team, like.
Yeah, and the letter A.
Okay, so this was book 18 that we've done. And it ended up being 11th overall.
Ooh, so it's really at the bottom.
I really fucked it with my scores. I thought you guys gave it.
Up,
sorry, 10th overall. Sorry.
Oh, 10th. That's not too bad, I guess. It's kind of middle.
Mid-pack. It's mid-pack.
It wasn't a bad book. It was just average to me.
Just to give an idea, Hunter Prey is still number 1 at 82.6%, and X-Force 25 is still at the bottom at 43.8.
Damn. I can't stand it. That book's the worst because it's so good. All right, whatever. It's so fucking good.
The first couple of these like Fatal Attraction ones I thought were really weak.
Yeah, I don't know why y'all hated them that much. So
well, it was because for me, a lot of that hate, so to speak, wasn't hate per se. It was
confusion.
If I was to go back now and see them because I know a little more about the story and the characters, I might give them higher marks.
Well, it taught me that Strike or whatever the fuck his name is Cable's clone, and it made me want to go read Mockingbird Event, and it's or whatever the fuck it's called, and it taught me some shit. I didn't know that much about Exodus.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about Exodus.
Yeah, I've learned everything pretty much now, almost, and I learned a lot more in those. And then you like, okay, whenever Magneto said "fuck it" and was like, "Let me electroshock the whole Earth," he did that in the cartoon. I thought that was cool as fuck. That was from those early books, you know. And it's just a lot of cool
yeah,
stuff.
that was one of the best events of
That
the
was
early.
I thought that was really cool. I like
That
the
was the
fact that
first
they
issue.
showed, but that was an issue we liked.
No, that was not the first issue. That was X-Men 25. He did that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
And I
liked
think that
that
was
issue.
number
25.
3. I think that was number 3.
That was the third book in
Third
the series.
issue.
Yes.
Okay.
It was the same issue that Wolverine got his adamantium ripped out.
Yeah, I think that was the best.
No, it wasn't.
I actually like the X-Force.
No, it was the one with. Yeah, actually, it was the fourth book.
Fourth
Mhm.
book.
The fourth book where he electric shocks the.
I think I like X-Force and X-Factor the most so far. I liked X-Force where Cable got fucked. I think that was the coolest part of the series so far. Was when Cable got
I think
wrecked.
you generally like the battle ones more, where there's
Yeah, I
more
like it when people
fighting.
get hurt.
I will say that the one where he did the actual ripping out was probably my favorite of them.
The way he dismantled Cable was way more hardcore than what happened to Wolverine.
Yeah, you know the funny thing is they never said what like in terms of this series, they never said what happened to Cable afterwards.
No,
He's just splatted.
he's just splattered. Yeah, we didn't get to see him come back to life. You know, I guess they just
But
rebuilt.
that's okay because he's a time jumper, so there'll be more.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Well, it's Dee's pick. We could talk more about it. I think there's a lot to talk about. But what do you got for us, Steve?
Yeah, no. So the next one in the series is Excalibur number 71, and I'm gonna be honest with you all. Yeah, show it real quick. Put.
I can grab it. I have to grab it.
Yeah. So I reread that one just the other day. Saw in here a little bit for Alan to get back. I want to see that cover.
Yeah.
And just zoom in on Alan's room. We'll look at his books. There it is.
9/8.
Yeah.
But it's Alan's book.
Yeah. So that's the next one in the series. I reread it. I'm not picking that fucking book.
You're not gonna pick it.
No, y'all can kiss my fuck. It is such a bad book. I hated it so much.
But it has such a great cover. Look at this girl.
I mean,
it is a really good cover, and it should still be the thumbnail for the next episode. But I can't.
Look at this. Look at, and it's like Nightcrawler is the hologram.
We're really gonna go 5 out of 6 and not do 6.
No, I'm just saying I can't be the one that puts this all through this.
It looks, but look at it. It's so
I know.
90s.
Y'all are gonna be so mad when you read it.
Like
well, let's have a book be shittier than the one I like. That's fine with me.
Oh my goodness, this guy's awesome.
Do you really want to read a book you're not going to enjoy? Because I'll do it. I'll do it. We can all do it.
If you don't pick it, maybe I'll pick it later. I don't know. Because I'm pretty loyal to the game, dude. Like if I say if the Biggie Shack network demands are here for that, then they're going to get what they want, dude. We got to know. But if you want to pick something else because you read it and you know it's shitty, that's completely fine because that's what everybody else has been doing.
Oh my God, Darth said to do it. Oh my God, I gotta listen to Darth. All right, we're gonna fucking pick Excalibur 71.
He used a Sith mind trick on you.
I know, and I'm fucking mad about it.
You'll be like, oh man, you had Hunter Prey, then you went down all the way.
All right, now we can talk about the nerdy shit, okay?
Hey, I want to hit one more point about the book we just read. One of the things I do like about it, and Biggie, you did not like about it.
Yeah.
I loved the fact that this showed like an aftermath of a really big battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It showed how chaotic going through trauma can actually be. It showed how devastating it is, and it put a comic book spin to it. Obviously, it's not a tearjerker by any notions, but I did like the fact that, like, hey, if you have the metal coating your skeleton ripped out of your body, the trip back to Earth may not be so fun. And that to me, they didn't kill him, but they still put a lot of weight on what happened to him.
Well, and go ahead. Yeah. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
No, that's what I enjoyed about it is it wasn't a minor thing that happened and it wasn't washed away by the next issue. It was a serious fucking thing. It was so serious that almost nothing happened in the next issue, and that was the story. So I did like that a lot.
I do like
the
the
previous
fact,
book had consequences. Is what really you're saying.
It makes the previous book even better, but yeah, I don't know.
and that makes it that again. That's what I'm saying. If I was to reread,
it's a lot to nerd out
that's
about.
Really weird that was bothered by only because I know certain stories as well. Later on, when with Old Man Logan's series, it's the animantium that actually causes him to get old.
Sick, yeah.
So this, they almost had it the opposite way, where the animantium made him better at healing and better. You know what I mean? It was
fighting
weird.
stronger.
Well, no, it was not that the adamantium made him better at healing. It was that his system got overloaded from trying to heal from so much trauma at once that it was his power. His power wasn't working right. Later on, they will go on to determine that Wolverine is a lot faster without the adamantium.
Well,
and his
that
healing
was actually
factor.
one thing. He'd be like half the weight. Like he'd be so much lighter.
It's 100 pounds. It's 100 pounds. He goes from 295 to 195 without the skeleton.
Wow.
That's a lot of mass to lose at once.
Yeah, and once his body fully heals up, his healing factor is actually better.
Oh, okay, so they do compensate it. Okay.
Yeah, no,
because that was one thing that bothered me. I was like kind of curious about that.
I thought that it was I think that one of the deepest things out of the book was the part where Professor X is kind of like coaching him to come back to life, and Wolverine's kind of like, I think I'm ready to fucking die. I'm tired of being numb. I'm numb all the time. Let me fucking have pain. He even told him, I don't want painkillers. Let me feel this. And he said, I want to
numb anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, and then he's like, oh, death. That seems fun. And Professor X is like, oh God, he's ready to go. Professor X is like, oh shit, he's going, and they pushed him back. And that's gotta suck. Because like Wolverine's like, I'm committed. I could hear the music. I could see it. It's beautiful. And then they're like, nope, fuck off, Wolverine. And that was kind of like, I mean, there's a lot of deep shit going on here. Maybe I was a little rough on the story. It just that for me personally, for me to give it like a 4 or 5, I don't want all that explanation shit. I just want me to have a tough fucking cool superhero. It takes the whole fucking team for them all the time. It's usually Professor X and Jean doing most of the lifting.
They always like the last few books. It's all been that. It's like kind of funny.
Here's a question for you. When you talk about how the adamantium becomes poison later or whatever is killing him, and here again, this is me being a little bit. Is it because the first time he got it, his body was a lot younger, had taken a lot less damage and stuff like that over the time, and then when he got it returned, the shock to the system was a little harder for him to handle because he was older and he had all this more extra damage done to the system.
I don't know if it's.
Oh, I don't. I don't understand. When he heals, is it like clean, nice new tissues and sinew, or is it scar tissue? Like that's the part I don't know.
I think he heals properly, like as if he was never injured.
Yeah, no, the age wasn't really the factor. It's a slow toxicity is what he's going through, because his healing factor is.
Interpreted it.
Yeah, his healing factor is so strong. It took decades for it to actually take its toll on his body. So
why didn't they just get Magneto to rip it out again, and then let him recover a bit, and then rinse and repeat?
Good point.
Yeah, who knows? Well, I'm now interested in what issue or what series he gets his adamantium back, because I have no fucking idea. Right? I really don't.
I know it comes from Apocalypse.
Oh, so it's after he lost his hand.
No, that's the Age of Apocalypse, I love that storyline, but that one is so what we just did is all the X titles, right? So the Age of Apocalypse is all of the X titles times 4 with 2 issues on each side.
Lady Fantastic's funny.
Damn. So it's going to be a 12-issue run.
Yeah.
Oof.
Dude, hey, I love a slow toxicity, Bobby. What's up?
I will refute Lady Fantastic's comment by saying, because if the Eagles took them to Mordor, then Gollum would not have been there to save the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Lady F, take that.
Lord of the Cock Ring. It's my favorite porno.
This is a hell of a series to do one at a time on a book club. I'm not looking forward to doing any more this big. I'm going to be doing some one shots for a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm not doing the Age of Apocalypse. I love reading the Age of Apocalypse, but to do that, we would all have to commit to it.
Yeah,
and it's too much. It is such a long story. And a lot of bad reading in there.
This series has been good.
Oh no! Don't do it, Matt. Don't do it.
Agent Torres. Oh,
Hey, muted wouldn't watch.
Well, I think that's it for book club. We have fun. I'm talking into my water bottle now. Yeah, I think we're just going to hang out. You guys want to stream while we hang out a little bit, or do you want to hang out backstage? I don't care what we do.
I don't care.
I've got a lot of racist things to say. Let's go backstage.
I feel the same way. No, last week we was here. We talked about getting these Simpson books, and I've got a few, so I'm going to show them real quick.
Yeah, show them quick.
Yeah. I still got 2 to go.
I'm gonna do the Steppo thing where he always says, "Just put that in my cart."
Yeah. So I think this is my second favorite.
Yeah, put that in my cart.
Well, Lyle did I have it last night on my broadcast.
Yeah, so all those put in my cart probably. I had that one, so I don't need that one.
Okay.
That one I need.
This one's popular, dude. This one got the most likes on Instagram.
I like that one.
Not surprisingly, because it's.
I told you that's one of my favorite stories in the Trios of Horrors.
Yeah, I think you did say that. Yeah, that one's pretty good.
That's cool.
That one.
That's cool.
So I got 7 so far and 2 to go. That's not bad for this series. It's not easy to find any of them.
I like that one too. That's an Infinity cover.
Yeah, this is number 2. They got number 3 and I think like 10.
I find most of my collection of that, so I'm kind of annoyed.
By the way, who was it that was talking about epitaphs from the abyss? Was that you, Gallon?
That was me.
Yeah. Stop talking about it.
You bought it. Did you? Did I influence you to buy it?
I kicked him out.
Audio. Bye-bye.
You kicked him out. Oops.
What happened?
Why did you buy it? I said it
4
wasn't that great.
And 5.
Wow.
Why? Because I don't know.
I don't hate it. It's got
it
cool header.
Okay. It's not
I
great.
think that it would make an intro. Actually, to be honest, it may make.
Oh, you know what we got to do?
Video.
You know what we got to do? We got to figure out who's going to battle Darth on the next. We're doing another Iron Collector.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
that's on Friday.
Yeah, it's this Friday. So I think that was a pretty successful.
I'm not going to be able to make the Friday night one with you. I can with you, Alan, but I've got my wife is going to Cuba, and I've got kids coming over for a sleepover.
Cuba, wow.
Wow. Yeah. You're a lucky wife.
Nah, she wants to go be a communist. Go be a communist.
You don't have to go. We're in a communist state.
So we need someone from the chat that wouldn't mind being an Iron Collector. If we can't find 2 people, the first person that pops to mind is Bobby for a rematch. But if you're busy, Bobby, that's okay. Darth said he's committed. If we don't find anybody tonight, maybe we'll keep working for it.
I want to see Lady F tear into his ass.
That would be fun.
Lady F. She has some awesome books.
Mm-hmm.
And she can battle.
She knows how to battle too. Yeah.
Darth's in. Darth has a episode with McClay tonight, I think, and Razor, so that should be fun for Darth. Something about I'm not sure if I'll be okay. So we're gonna have to find a replacement for Bobby.
Oh, there you go. Ladies saying, "What kind of book should I bring?" So right there, I think you got
now Bobby's saying, "I'm not sure if I'm free on Friday."
Yeah.
So
I think Lady F is ready.
I think we scared him.
So either Darth is shitting his pants right now, or he's glad it ain't Bobby. I don't know which one. But yeah, maybe in a week or two. It'd be Friday.
Maybe this Friday, lady.
No, it's in December. One biggie. I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, I can do this Friday. Okay, good. So I'm pretty sure Dart's Good Friday. Lady F's Good Friday. And Iron Collector,
Well,
man.
I'll see how the kids are. If they're watching their movies and stuff, I'll jump on.
Lady F. So this is going to be not like we're picking categories. You guys bring your favorite books.
Yeah.
Just your favorite books. It's a full out battle. So it's representing your collection. That's all you're doing. 5 books at a time. You got to win 2 out of 3. It was pretty fun last time.
And you have to appeal to the judges. So
you got to appeal to judges because we're worth 2 and the chat's worth 1. And then at the end of it, whoever wins picks the Iron Collector they want to battle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Darth, I'll see if I can be there.
So I'm excited. We got Lady F versus Darth. It's going to be a hell of a good night. Don't forget to check out Alan Friday night. He does a hangout right before the club. And that's always fun. Maybe I pop in there for a few if I get free.
Yeah, I can send you. We might have. I'm going to try to convince Lyle to join us this week.
It's a good idea.
Lyle is turning into a bit of he likes it.
Well, it's like
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
I've already booked him for another one because he's sort of like I wouldn't mind coming on again. So I've already booked him again.
I like Lyle's style of collecting. He likes obscure books.
Yeah, no, he definitely does, and he's a wealth of knowledge.
He knows some shit. Yeah, he knows some stuff. What's the chat saying? I can go 0 for 2. You can't? Oh, I can't go 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Lady's going to be awesome.
Darth, we're not going to let you be the 1998 Bills. We're going to try and get you to be the 1998 Bills.
Fucking Darth was, I tell you, I don't think anybody's made the show any funner than fucking Darth. He was gimmicking hard, dude. He was trying.
Yeah.
He was trying like a motherfucker. So I'm rooting for you and Lady. So, yeah.
So, what else is going on?
I think that's about it. I had a little feedback from my background checks. I think Circumstances and Razor ain't the biggest fans of it.
Okay.
That's okay.
I'm gonna be grading content from now on because people say that's
no fuck that. Come on, you're kidding me, right?
What? I want to do that too.
Yeah, we can grade content, but that's a different series. Don't get off the backgrounds.
I'm not getting off backgrounds. No, I'm just adding another show.
Okay.
So when you do these backgrounds, are you like, is it always different channels? Like, are you like adding new channels every time?
I try to do a new channel every time I do it, but I've been asked to go back to channels too. So,
because I was thinking Bry's Comics, and I was thinking Swaggle
Bry's is good.
Oh, we did. Did we do Swaggle?
Homo Comics.
Oh, let me type these down. Bry's Swaggle.
These are all the big guys.
Como.
Have you done still only 35 cents? He's got a pretty good looking.
Still 35.
How about what's on the comic rack?
What's on the comic rack? What, D?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say we should. I forget what I was gonna say. Fuck me.
Oh. That's why I try to get you to talk quick because I forget quick too. So I got Bryce, Swaggle, Como, still 35, and Comic Rack. Those would be future.
Did you guys do Alex?
Alex Comic
Quarter?
Yeah.
Nope, didn't do him either.
Yeah. Sometimes he's got some really interesting books up.
Yeah, he's got cool stuff in the background.
Who's the other guy that hangs out with y'all on Friday? I know the other guy.
Oh yeah,
Lettuce.
And
Lettuce.
Comics.
Gotta do Lettuce.
You don't really see much on Lettuce, but yeah, take a look at him.
Yeah, he doesn't have that much in his background, really.
But here's the deal: like, if the background isn't great, we're not insulting their humanity and their character. Like, just say, hey, it's this score because I don't like this, this, and this. Like,
and if you're gonna do, you should do Uncanny Derek as well. He's got some good bangers on his wall.
That's a full.
He's got some pre-code horror and big X-Men books.
Uncanny Derek, cool. All right. Well, thank you guys. You guys ain't
So
more.
who's the champion right now for the best background other
Well,
than me?
Well, the
It's
best.
not near mint.
No, not for me, dude. It's
No, who
Bueller.
actually was
Bueller's old setup is better to me than Not Near
I mean,
Mint's.
Bueller had a pretty amazing setup.
Well, they both got a 10.
They both
So
got 10.
so not near mint and Bueller. See, I liked not near mints because it's not just the background; it's this comic book room.
Mhm.
And Bueller has got like the Sports Center desk of comic books
Yeah,
on
I
his
mean, it
old
was a
thing.
crazy setup. It was
Yeah.
like this.
It was so good. I'm glad you remember it. Yeah.
You guys are going to be thrown off. Still only 35 is going to be really up there.
Let me show you what it was, Matt, because I don't think you're familiar, bro.
I may not have watched that one.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think those are top two. I think maybe Steppo got a 10 too, didn't he?
Steppo, you guys gave him a 10.
What did I get?
You got a 9.
You got like a
You guys
9
suck.
something.
Well, I wasn't there with it, but hey, Alan, I actually love your background. I would have graded it higher than a 9.
It was
I
harder for
graded
me
it-
to pick between you and Steppo because
Alan,
I feel like
you
your
have
buddy.
Blade Girl. I graded it higher.
Okay.
And
So
I
it's
do
Biggie
like your
that sucks, is what you're saying. You're throwing
yeah,
Biggie
no,
under
it's
the bus, is what
Biggie.
I'm hearing.
And I'm not even just trying to be funny. I like your background more than Steppo's.
So D, is it the reason you're throwing Biggie under the bus is because he's a wuss or what?
We
It was
also
hard
had-
for me to pick between you two, honestly.
And Bleak went with Steppo. So
Mhm.
Hold on.
so Bleak was part of it.
Oh well.
All right,
Yeah.
so here's my favorite of
I'm gonna be changing my background soon. It's gonna be all X-Men holograms all the time.
Fuck yeah.
check this out,
It's going
Matt.
to be Zombie Tramp.
No more of these cheap books. I gotta put up some X-Men.
This is my favorite. Make it big.
Oh, those are those comic postery things, those metal-y
And
things.
it ain't showing the whole set like the last time. Hold on.
Yeah, you got the wrong video up.
Yeah. You gotta see the front of it.
No, when he does his comics and donuts thing, that studio is insane.
Here we go.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
that's
a
what I
nice
was talking about. Coffee and comics, yeah, coffee and donuts.
There you go.
I don't think donuts and comics make a good mix.
You still can't
Yeah.
see the bottom of it that good, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought he had another studio that was even more elaborate.
He's got a few, but this is my favorite, I think. Here we go. This is what you want to.
I think Bleeker's here just in time for me at what I was saying.
So this is the best setup in my opinion right here. If I was to use a set from any YouTuber, it would be this set right here.
Mm-hmm.
And a fun fact, Bueller sold his house, but he sold it to Bullseye Bob. I don't know if he tore the set down, but Bob owns the house. So
Oh, really?
yeah. Yep. All right. So
Yeah,
that's that.
lately Bueller's been trying to get back in there, and they've had to put a restraining order on him. It's been really wild. No, not seriously at all.
I'm laughing because I said Bleeker 3 times and he showed up.
Hey, this isn't a hologram cover, but you got to get this Chromium X-Men book too with your background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're trying to get me to have all the bangers.
Yeah, dude, this is a $500 book.
Okay, I believe you. Sure.
It's a gold edition, man.
I was joking.
If you say
It looks cool, actually. I love that kind of stuff. It's so foily.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it don't look much different than the A cover to me, but you know, it's cool.
Well, it's just got the prism part to it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I actually do like that. You know, there's a certain nostalgic feeling that I get when I look at those kind of books because, you know, I was, a 90s
Or
guy too.
get a gold gambit.
Gold Gambit.
Gold.
Yeah,
Gambit.
man.
Wow.
Gold Gambit.
That I remember those books like on the wall. They would always
Yeah.
be like, in the comic shop, they would always have those up on the thing, and it's like gold edition, and it was always a crazy price, like $300 or something, just like some price that they just totally made up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I thought Gambit was such a silly character when he first came out. I remember
Really?
looking at that book. Yeah, well,
I loved
a
Gambit
little
right off
biased.
the bat.
I'm a little biased against Marvel back then.
I
mean-
loved I loved the idea of Gambit. I was like, the idea of them flicking cards at people. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, well, that concept is good. What I thought was the way he was being written, he seemed to be a little bit of a fool.
A little bit with the French Canadian kind of thing. Oh, the French.
Well, he's Cajun.
Cajun.
Oh, that's still it's funny.
No,
All right.
it was more. It was partly that, but partly like he was always trying. He struck me as someone who will do anything to impress a girl.
Yeah.
That's
By the
so-
way, that's one thing I wanted to quickly mention about the book that we just read, Wolverine 75. I didn't realize Maura McTaggart had like a Scottish thing going on.
Oh,
I didn't realize when they would write her, they would like have her say all these kind of like sort of Scottishy kind of things.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she talked like that because in the movies, she's just like an American.
okay.
So I thought that was interesting. That was something I learned in this.
Yeah, in the movies, she was like an FBI or CIA agent,
Yeah,
which is nowhere near what she was in the comic book. She
yeah.
is like a research scientist on Muir Island in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that
it
very
was
different.
Yeah, it was what, and I didn't hate her character in X-Men First Class. It just was a completely different character with the exact same name.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, we're going to head backstage, man. That was a fun show. Next week we'll be finishing the series of Fatal Attraction, even though D thinks it's a fatal mistake.
It's his
Now I
favorite
get
book.
it. I just got Fatal Attract. Oh my god! I just got what it meant.
What is it?
Really?
Fatal Attractions. What does it
It
mean?
took you fucking 6 weeks to
It
figure out
was
what
the
that
metal
meant.
coming out.
That's
Well, no,
it's a fatal attraction.
No, he referred to his power as the Fatal Attraction earlier in the series. I forget which issue, but
Who
during one of
did?
his Magneto,
Who referred-
Magneto called it the Fatal Attraction.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
here I thought they meant like he thought it would kill Wolverine to pull out to attract the metal out
It
of him.
definitely means everything we want it to. It's meant for
Yeah.
us to use our imagination.
I
No,
didn't
and
really get the meaning of it, tell you the truth.
Yeah, no,
Never
it-
really focused on it. Never thought about it.
For Wolverine, Magneto could be a fatal attraction because he's
Okay.
magnetic.
Yeah.
It's really easy. Like that.
But I didn't get that.
All right.
I didn't really think about it, tell you the truth.
See, I'm slow, but I pick
Well,
up the easy
we
shit. I
know
don't pick up the
it's
weird
not
shit.
Glenn Close.
Yeah,
True.
the whole time I'm waiting. Where's the rabbit? Where's the rabbit?
oh, that poor rabbit.
It wasn't a rabbit. It was a Wolverine.
You know, the funny thing is, if you read Wolverine 76, there
Mhm.
is a dead rabbit.
Oh,
Oh wow!
Spoilers,
So-
Alan. Fuck.
what the hell does the dead
It's like-
rabbit got to do with anything?
Spoilers.
What's the
Your
dead rabbit
mind
got
will
to do
be
with anything?
blown.
What's the dead rabbit got to do with anything? I don't get it.
Fatal Attraction, they boiled the rabbit. The kid's rabbit is boiled in the pot. It was a scene
There's-
in
there's-
Fatal Attraction.
In a
Oh,
movie. In a
Oh,
movie called Fatal Attraction.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and Glenn Close are in the same movie, and the original Ant-Man. And yeah, it basically this dude has an affair on his wife, and the chick turns out to be
Crazy.
extra crazy.
Michael
And I don't mean like,
Douglas.
yeah,
Michael.
I don't.
Michael Douglas is not someone that.
That's
think
Hank
of him
Pym.
as
That's Hank
Ant-Man,
Pym. That's Hank Pym.
The
Take
fact
him,
that you
you
have
know?
to make the reference to his like one smallest like role of his
Yeah.
like,
Small
huge
role.
career.
Ah, is Ant-Man, huh?
Smallest role. He's in like 4 movies.
Okay, but he's like known for like so many other things that
Like,
are like,
yeah.
way bigger movies.
Is he?
He really is. He's a big guy.
Basic
Oh, okay.
Instinct.
Basic Instinct. All right, I guess.
He's the guy who got to be the one that rolled around with Sharon Stone in the hay.
Yeah, dangerous.
I haven't watched that movie in like 30 years, so I don't know. I forget it. Anyway,
And he's married to Catherine Zeta-Jones.
that's
Yeah.
cool. Didn't she have herpes or something? I don't know. You know what? Superman is cool only because you know your X-Men. Yeah, I guess that's cool. All right, well, we're out of here, guys. Thank you for hanging out. It was a fun book club. See y'all in a week. Catch us Friday. Alan has a hangout, and so do I. So see y'all then, man.
Biggie.